So when things go wrong, we have a rule. It's okay to be negative, but not for more than 5 minutes. Give yourself 5 minutes, set your timer on your phone. You would literally teach us, set the timer. You get 5 minutes to bitch, moan, complain, cry, vent, punch a wall, whatever. And after 5 minutes, you take a deep breath and say 3 really powerful words. Can't change it. And it's simply an acknowledgement that I can't change what's already happened. So there's no value in wishing it were different. And essentially I learned through reading Eckhart Tolle and things through years after that every negative emotion that we have is self-created by the degree of resistance that we have to our reality. Whether it's past reality, whether it's happening right now, or whether it's even a projected future reality that we're afraid of. And so in the span of 5 minutes, I woke up, I was told I would never walk again. You know, I had 11 broken bones, permanent brain damage, and I went, well, can't change it. And the doctors thought I was delusional because I was so happy. I told my dad, I said, Dad, there's 2 possibilities. Number 1, the doctors are right and I'll never walk again. And I said, and I've already decided, I've imagined that possibility. Okay, I'm in a wheelchair the rest of my life. I promise, Dad, because my parents were concerned, the doctors were concerned, I said, I promise I'll be the happiest person you've ever seen in a wheelchair. Because I'm in a wheelchair either way. I'm gonna be happy, I'll be grateful. Why be miserable just because that's my unchangeable circumstance? And I said, possibility number 2 is I will walk again. And I don't even know if it's possible, but I do know that that's what I want. So I've accepted the worst case scenario. I'm at peace with it. And all of my energy is going into walking again. I think about it every day. I visualize it. I pray about it. I talk about it, imagine it. And a week later, the doctors came in with routine x-rays. And they said, we don't know how to explain this, but your body is healing so quickly. We're going to let you take your first step tomorrow. And that was 3 weeks after the accident. It went from like never walking again. And I'm thinking maybe like in a year, not in 3 weeks. And then I took my first step the next day. So I share that kind of backstory because every adversity that I've had since then, I'm able to leverage the lesson of, hey, if I can't change it, the only intelligent choice I have if I want to be happy is to accept it. 2008 was hard. It was actually harder for me to deal with than the car accident. And I think the reason is the car accident was the worst thing I'd imagine happening to me happen. And then it could only really get better from there. Like I was in the hospital, I woke up from a coma. It's like, okay, I'm gonna heal over time, right? With the economy, when it crashed, it's like I lost a couple clients. I'm delusional, first of all, right? Like there's a fine line between optimism and delusion. You probably cross it too sometimes, right? But people be like, you know, you're worried about the economy? I go, I create my own economy. I don't watch the news. I don't pay attention to it, right? And I guess it was, you know, I'm losing client after client after client after client because they were affected by the economy and they couldn't pay me. And after I lost my first client, I went, oh man, can't change it. 5-minute rule, all right, that's a bummer, man. I've never lost a client. And then within a matter of weeks, I lost, you know, or about a month, I lost half of my clients, half of my income, couldn't pay the mortgage. And so I got really scared and really depressed. Like the can't change it thing wasn't work because it just kept getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse, like this downward spiral. So yeah, and that's when I did some Google searching. I was just simply trying to figure out what are the world's most successful people doing that I'm not doing. And I kept coming across morning rituals and morning routines, but I went, I'm not a morning person. Like, what else do they do? Like, where's the night owl like success plan, right? And I finally saw one. I don't remember the headline, but it caught my attention, and I went, I got to read this. And I dove in, and this was 2007. So morning rituals now are everybody talks about them. They're all over the place. They weren't quite as prevalent. And I realized that it was the one thing that most of the world's most successful people had in common. And then I went, okay, I'm gonna wake up an hour earlier tomorrow and start a morning ritual. Then the question was, what am I gonna do during that hour to really maximize it? I want it to be the ultimate morning ritual. So I ended up continuing down my Google searching and came up with 6. It was meditation, affirmations, visualization, exercise, reading, and journaling. And I went, which of these is the one thing I should do? Which is the best? Which is gonna change my life the fastest? And the epiphany happened when I went, what if I did all of these? What if I woke up tomorrow, I did the 6 most timeless, scientifically proven personal development practices in the history of the world that, you know, for centuries they've been working for people. And the next morning I woke up, even though I wasn't a morning person, did all 6. And I went from being depressed and scared to like my mental and emotional, I was at a peak. I went, wow, if I start every day like this, it's only a matter of time. And it was less than 2 months that I doubled my income, decided to run that ultra marathon that you'd mentioned. And it felt like a miracle. I told my wife, I said, sweetie, this is like a miracle. She's like, it's like your miracle morning. I go, yeah, it's my miracle morning. So I started writing my schedule as my miracle morning. It was never a book idea. And the light bulb went off that I went, well, if this is changing my life and I wasn't a morning person, and it's changing all of my clients' lives, and none of them were morning people, this could change the world. Like, I have a responsibility to get this message out there.
Oh man, it's such an extraordinary story.